Ariel Powers beef with Cheryl Reeve. It is Ariel Powers, the new player for the Indiana Fever, who they just signed, and her beef with Cheryl Reeve. And if you guys are wondering why this is relevant, the Indiana Fever tonight are in fact playing the Minnesota.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA drama had finally cooled down, it's back with a vengeance. Indiana Fever's rising star Ariel Powers has reignited her long-running clash with Cheryl Reeve, and the sparks are flying. This feud has moved way beyond basketball. It's personal now. Old wounds are reopening, fresh shots are being taken, and the tension couldn't be higher. The real question, who's got the upper hand? Can Ariel Powers prove she's ready to outplay Reeve on her own turf? Or will this rivalry spin out of control and drag the Fever down with it? Sound off in the comments. Who's really coming out ahead here, Ariel or Cheryl?
A very spicy but very capable player. So let's go over everything there is to know.
Let's be real. When the Indiana Fever signed Ariel Powers, fans everywhere did a double take. Wasn't she basically sworn enemies with Cheryl Reeve? Exactly. This isn't your average rivalry, it's straight up bad blood. And now the WNBA has a brand new headline to chew on. Powers is suiting up in Indiana colors, while Reeve has no choice but to strategize against her. Just like that, the drama isn't simmering anymore, it's boiling over.
And that Cheryl Reeve and Ariel Powers, man, was going at it when she was on that team. Now, she was signed to that team, I think, in 2022. She was actually their top scorer, now that I think about it. She was their top scorer. And all of a sudden, I don't know, they was just clashing a little bit. And then I remember Ariel Powers just coming out and just saying, hey, I want to go to a different team. I want to be on another team. She just blatantly told the world.
Picture this. The Fever are already drowning in chaos and injuries when they roll the dice on Ariel Powers with a 7-day hardship deal. The roster is gutted. Caitlin Clark sidelined with a groin issue, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Carlson hurt, Ari McDonald banged up, and Odyssey Sims nursing yet another tweak. At this point, the Fever locker room feels less like a contender's clubhouse and more like a triage unit. Desperation called for reinforcements, and that's exactly where Ariel Powers steps in.
And some slick stuff about her. So it was crazy what was going on between the two. And it boiled over so bad that Cheryl Reeve actually took her out of the game and started making her play like 10 minutes, 12 minutes a game. Now, she did get injured in 2022, and then she had to come back in 2023 off of that injury. So it was kind of like probably like a Aaliyah Edwards moment a little bit with Kiki Arifin, where she kind of lost her starting position. So it was kind of like that too. You're taking your top scorer, by the way, your top scorer, and making her play less minutes. I don't know what was going on between the two, but man, they did not.
One of the wildest, most telling moments in this feud didn't even happen on the court. It happened on a flight. Ariel Powers and Cheryl Reeve ended up seated next to each other, and Reeve literally swapped seats with her own spouse just to avoid her. That's not just awkward, that's I can't even breathe the same air as you drama. Peak pettiness. Fast forward to now and the stakes are even higher. Powers is suiting up for the Indiana Fever. The same team already tangled up with Reeve thanks to Caitlin Clark. Let's not forget, Reeve left Clark off the Olympic roster, and Fever fans have never forgiven her for it. Now you've got a powder keg. Caitlin Clark and Ariel Powers on one side, Cheryl Reeve and her battle-tested Lynx on the other. And if that wasn't enough, toss in the MVP chaos. Reeve's been salty all season, and Indiana fans rolling up in Kelsey Mitchell MVP shirts have even caught Mitchell herself off guard. The tension isn't just building, it's about to blow.
You better not be sitting by me, this would be crazy. We're getting closer and closer to the door. Excuse me. No. This is my seat, sir. Okay. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? How crazy is that? Now she's switching.
Honestly, I had no idea what my teammates were planning with the t-shirts. When I saw it, I was completely taken aback. It was fun, it was funny, and honestly, I was humbled. I'm so grateful for this group. I love the people I play with, and for them to go out of their way to do something like that for me, it means more than most people realize. I've been here the longest, I've seen and experienced everything that people talk about with this franchise. For my teammates to recognize that, to show me that they see my value, it's huge. They make me feel important, and I feel the same way about them. That sense of value, of belonging, means everything to me.
It was fun. It was funny. I was very humbled. I was grateful for my group. I love the people I play with, and to know that they would go out their way to make something like that happen for me, it means a lot more than people know, because I have been here the longest. I have, everything that people talk about, I have been, and to know that my teammates kind of like see me as, I have value somewhere, and I feel like they make me feel like, I'm important to them and vice versa, and so that value.
What started as a simple show of support turned into instant backlash. Cheryl Reeve wasn't having it. Sliding her glasses up like she was about to deliver a lecture, she told the media, plain as day, that MVPs come from the league's top teams. And conveniently, her links fit that description perfectly. In the process, she threw shade at both Kelsey Mitchell and Aya Wilson, leaving zero doubt about where she stood. In Reeve's eyes, there's only one rightful MVP, Nafisa Collier. End of story.
Huge component to championship teams. Recently with Feud being out, there's been a lot of talk online and, as far as media and fans, as far as the MVP race. I was just kind of wondering from your perspective, game in and game out, what say you to those who try to discredit Feud's MVP race campaign because of having a talented roster and a franchise that cares about investment?
Yeah. It's pretty simple. We're not 23-4 through the first, whatever part of the season without Nafisa Collier. We don't have one of the greatest 50-game runs, standing from last year to this year, and then, historic beginning to the season. And I'd say that, because our roster is constructed in such a way to win a championship, which is understanding you got to have more than an MVP on your team to be successful. But we're not in the place that we're in. We have I don't know what our game lead is in first place. MVPs come from the best team, and this best team has about a 6-game lead on the rest.
If you're keeping score, here's where we stand. Cheryl Reeve is already heated. Indiana's hyping up Kelsey Mitchell, she's still got beef with Caitlin Clark, and now the Fever went and signed Ariel Powers. Yes, the same Ariel Powers she once refused to sit next to on a plane. Call it poetic irony, and don't get it twisted, Powers isn't some end-of-bench pickup. When she's on, she's dangerous. Back in her Lynx days, she was dropping double-digit nights, drilling clutch threes, and bullying her way to the rim. In 2022, she averaged over 14 points per game. This isn't charity, the Fever might have just unlocked a secret weapon. And when she lines up against her old coach, you better believe revenge will be on her mind. So how did we even get here? It wasn't about talent. It was about attitude. Reeve runs the Lynx with an iron fist. If you don't fit her mold, you're out. Powers? She's outspoken, connects with fans, says exactly what she thinks. She doesn't just rock the boat, she flips it, live streams it, and tweets about it after. A clash was inevitable. The result? Powers got benched, her minutes vanished, and the relationship went up in smoke. Now fast forward to today. The Fever are injury-riddled and desperate, so Powers isn't just filling a roster spot, she's being thrown straight into the fire. Every shot, every drive, every bucket is a "how do you like me now?" moment aimed squarely at Reeve, and Reeve? She's treating this like a playoff series. Expect her to tell her Lynx to swarm Powers, frustrate her, make her disappear. The last thing she wants is Ariel shining in an Indiana jersey. But here's the kicker, the Fever don't have the luxury of easing Powers in. Half the roster is hurt. She's getting minutes, touches, shots, basically the spotlight she's been craving. Add in the optics. Indiana already has the whole league watching because of Caitlin Clark. Now they've dropped Ariel Powers right into the center of the storm. Indiana's overlooked recruit just humiliated her former coach. The headlines write themselves, the clips go viral, and Fever fans crown Powers their newest hero. But if she struggles? Reeve won't let it slide. She'll smirk through the post-game, drop a subtle jab, and frame it as proof she was right to move on. There's no middle ground here. Every minute Powers plays is either redemption or ridicule, and Reeve's not going to make it easy. The Lynx have depth for days. McBride, Williams, Carlton. ready to shadow Powers, bump her off her rhythm, deny her the spotlight. The marching orders are simple. Don't let her cook. Here's the twist though, Powers thrives on chaos. She's never been the quiet, system-fit type. She's vocal, fiery, fueled by proving doubters wrong. For her, this isn't about easing into a new team. It's about sending a message. She's not in Indiana to warm a seat. She's there to torch the coach who benched her and prove she belongs. And the timing couldn't be better, or worse depending on who you ask. Indiana's roster is held together with tape. Caitlin Clark's still rehabbing. Mitchell's carrying the scoring load. Boston's inconsistent. That leaves Powers with touches, shots, and the chance to be front and center. The same coach who once cut her minutes now has to watch her get them by necessity. That's basketball poetry. Add the optics and it only gets spicier. Fever fans already despise Reeve for the Clark snub. Now they get to rally behind Powers, the outspoken underdog turned folk hero. Every Indiana-Minnesota matchup turns into appointment viewing. Every camera cut to Reeve's reaction, every Powers bucket, every fan tweet adds fuel to the fire. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. It's pride. It's history. It's personal. Ariel Powers versus Cheryl Reeve is no longer background noise. It's the headline. So the question is, does Powers finally flip the script and embarrass her old coach? Or does Reeve tighten her grip and remind everyone why she runs the Lynx like a dynasty? Either way, it's not just basketball. It's must-watch drama with a scoreboard. If Ariel Powers goes off, she humiliates her former coach. If she struggles, Cheryl Reeve will smirk through the post-game as if to say, "Told you so." There's no middle ground here. And don't think Reeve won't pull every lever at her disposal. The Lynx are stacked with depth. Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Bridget Carlton, plenty of bodies to hound Powers all night. The mission is simple. Don't let her get hot, don't let her steal headlines. But here's the twist, Powers thrives in chaos. She's never been a system-fit player. She's vocal, fiery, and fueled by proving doubters wrong. This matchup isn't about blending in. It's about making a statement. She's not in Indiana to sit quietly, she's here to torch the team that benched her and prove she belongs. The question is, can the Fever support her? Injuries have shredded the roster. Caitlin Clark, usually the pressure sponge, is sidelined. Aaliyah Boston is dominant but inconsistent. Kelsey Mitchell is carrying the scoring load, drawing constant defensive focus. That leaves Powers with a unique opportunity. More touches, more responsibility, simply because Indiana has no other option. It's almost poetic. The coach who once limited her minutes might now be forced to watch her dominate out of necessity. Fans know it too. This isn't just personal drama, it feels like fate. Fever fans already despise Reeve for the Clark Olympic snub. Add Powers to the mix, and every Indiana-Minnesota game becomes a grudge match. This isn't just basketball. It's personal warfare with a scoreboard. From Reeve's perspective, she probably sees this as beneath her. But reality doesn't care. This is chaos and it's happening live. Sure, her Lynx are stacked. Collier is MVP caliber, McBride is raining net snappers, Shepard is handing out triple-doubles like candy. On paper, she shouldn't even notice Indiana. But the receipts are clear. She is paying attention. You don't shade Mitchell's MVP chatter or swap airplane seats to avoid Ariel Powers if you're above it all. That's why Indiana leans into the underdog role. Every Powers bucket becomes a highlight. Every fan tweet is a rallying cry. The Fever need fuel, and this feud is giving them plenty. But here's the danger. What if the Lynx take it personally too? What if Reeve's players channel the drama into defending their coach like it's war? Then Indiana isn't just facing a loaded roster. They're facing an emotionally charged one, wired to shut down a former teammate. That's a nightmare matchup. So the stage is set. The stakes go way beyond the standings. Can Ariel Powers rise under pressure and finally silence Reeve? Or does Reeve get the last laugh, proving she was right all along? Either way, this isn't just basketball. It's a soap opera in sneakers. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit that like button for the latest WNBA drama.